And in just 2 days from now, something extraordinary is going to happen that almost nobody on Earth will see. A perfect ring of fire will appear in the sky over the most isolated continent on the planet, visible to maybe a few dozen people. And if you miss it, you'll have to wait years for another chance. This is the story of the February 17th, 2026 annular solar eclipse. And trust me, fact number 8 will blow your mind about who actually gets to witness this cosmic event. But before we continue, consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, commenting down below, and sharing this with your favorite people.
Number 1.
Mark your calendars for Tuesday, February the 17th, 2026, because that's when the first solar eclipse of the year occurs. Now, I know what you're thinking. Solar eclipses happen all the time. What's the big deal? But here's the thing. This isn't just any eclipse. While most of us will be going about our Tuesday routines, the moon will slide directly between Earth and the sun, casting its shadow across our planet. But unlike the total solar eclipses you've probably seen trending on social media, this one has a twist. The timing is perfect, the alignment is precise, and the location? Well, that's where things get really interesting. This eclipse kicks off what astronomers are calling one of the most exciting years for eclipse chasers in recent memory. So buckle up, because we're about to take a journey to one of the most extreme celestial events of 2026.
Number 2.
So what makes this eclipse different? It's what we call an annular solar eclipse. And if you've never heard that term before, get ready for some serious eye candy. Picture this. The moon passes in front of the sun, but instead of blocking it out completely like in a total eclipse, it leaves a bright, glowing ring of sunlight around its edges. We call this the Ring of Fire, and it's one of the most stunning sights in astronomy. The sun becomes this perfect golden halo surrounding the dark disk of the moon. Imagine a cosmic wedding ring hanging in the sky. This happens because of a fascinating quirk of orbital mechanics. Unlike a total solar eclipse where the moon completely covers the sun, and you can see the corona, an annular eclipse gives you this otherworldly ring effect. Ancient civilizations who witnessed these without understanding the science must have thought the gods were sending them a message. And honestly, when you see photos of that perfect ring suspended in the darkness, it's hard not to feel like you're witnessing something divine.
Number 3.
But why does the moon leave a ring instead of blocking out the sun completely? This is where orbital mechanics gets really cool. The moon doesn't orbit Earth in a perfect circle. It follows an elliptical path. Sometimes it's closer to us, and sometimes it's farther away. On February 17th, the moon will be near what we call apogee, the farthest point in its orbit from Earth. We're talking about a difference of roughly 50,000 kilometers between when the moon is closest and farthest from us. Now, you might think 50,000 kilometers isn't much in the grand scheme of space, but it makes all the difference. When the moon is farther away, it appears smaller in our sky, about 14% smaller than when it's at its closest. So even though the moon is directly between us and the sun, it's just not quite big enough to cover the entire solar disk. The result? That glowing ring we talked about. The sun peeks out around all the edges, creating that perfect circle of fire. It's like the universe is playing a cosmic game of ring toss. And on February 17th, we get a front row seat to the show. Nature's geometry at its finest.
Number 4.
Now, here's where this eclipse goes from cool to absolutely epic. The Ring of Fire will be visible from Antarctica. That's right, the most remote, most extreme, most isolated continent on Earth. The central path of annularity, that's the zone where you can see the perfect ring, sweeps across Antarctica's icy wasteland. We're talking about a place where temperatures can drop to minus 80 degrees Celsius, where the sun doesn't rise for months during winter, and where the landscape is almost entirely covered in ice sheets up to 4 kilometers thick. This isn't like the 2017 total solar eclipse that crossed the United States, where millions of people drove to the path of totality and set up lawn chairs. This is Antarctica. There are no highways, no hotels, no eclipse viewing parties with food trucks. Just endless white ice, howling winds, and some of the harshest conditions on planet Earth. The universe doesn't care about our convenience. This eclipse is happening where it's happening, and if you want to see the full Ring of Fire, you need to be willing to go to literally the end of the Earth. Mother Nature chose one of the most brutal viewing locations possible for one of the sky's most beautiful shows.
Number 5.
Let's talk about the scale of this thing. The moon's entumbral shadow, that's the technical term for the shadow that creates the ring effect, will travel approximately 4,300 kilometers across Antarctica, and it's about 600 kilometers wide. To put that in perspective, that's like a shadow the width of France racing across an entire continent at thousands of kilometers per hour. The shadow sweeps across the Antarctic ice sheet, over glaciers, past mountain ranges buried in snow, and finally exits over the Southern Ocean. Imagine if you could see this from space. You'd watch this massive dark spot with a bright ring in the center sliding across the white expanse of Antarctica, like a cosmic spotlight. The shadow moves at different speeds depending on where it is, but at its peak, it's traveling faster than the speed of sound. Try to outrun it, and you'd need to be in a fighter jet. And here's the mind-blowing part. All of this massive shadow spanning hundreds of kilometers, is created by our relatively small moon, which is only 3,484 kilometers in diameter, positioned perfectly between us and a sun that's 1.4 million kilometers across. The precision required for this alignment is astronomical, literally.
Number 6.
So, if you're one of the lucky few actually positioned in Antarctica to see this, how long does the show last? The annular phase, when the ring is complete and perfect, lasts a maximum of about 2 minutes and 20 seconds near the point of greatest eclipse. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. That's it. That's all you get for the perfect ring of fire. Think about that for a second. You could travel thousands of kilometers, brave some of the most extreme weather on Earth, set up your equipment in sub-zero temperatures, and the main event lasts less time than a typical song on the radio. It's shorter than a commercial break. Shorter than it takes to make instant ramen. But here's the thing. Eclipse chasers will tell you, those 140 seconds are worth it. When that ring forms, when the moon's dark silhouette sits perfectly centered in that glowing solar halo, time seems to stop. The light changes in ways that are hard to describe. It's not dark like nighttime, but it's not daylight either. It's this eerie, otherworldly twilight that you'll never forget. But here's the thing. Eclipse chasers will tell you, those 140 seconds are worth it. When that ring forms, when the moon's dark silhouette sits perfectly centered in that glowing solar halo, time seems to stop. The light changes in ways that are hard to describe. It's not dark like nighttime, but it's not daylight either. It's this eerie, otherworldly twilight that you'll never forget. And then, just as suddenly as it appeared, the ring breaks. The moon continues its path, the sun's light floods back, and it's over. But those 2 minutes and 20 seconds, they stay with you forever.
Number 7.
For those of you who love precision, let's get into the exact timing. The central phases occur around late morning and universal time. That's the time zone astronomers use to coordinate observations around the world. Annularity begins near 11:43 UT when the entumbral shadow first touches down in Antarctica. The eclipse reaches maximum, the point of greatest eclipse, around 12:11 UT. This is when the alignment is most perfect, when the ring is most symmetrical, when the duration of annularity is at its longest. Finally, the shadow leaves Earth near 12:41 UT as it races off into space over the Southern Ocean. From first contact to last contact, meaning from when the moon first starts to nibble at the sun's edge to when it completely moves away, the entire event lasts several hours. But that central ring? That perfect annular phase, that's concentrated in that noon window in universal time. Now, for anyone actually in Antarctica, at one of the research stations in the path, you'll need to convert this to your local time. But the beauty of universal time is that no matter where you are on Earth, we can all mark these same moments in history. At 12:11 UT on February 17th, 2026, somewhere in the Antarctic wasteland, the universe will paint a perfect ring of fire in the sky.
Number 8.
And here's the fact I promised would blow your mind. Only a small number of people at Antarctic research stations, we're talking about places like Concordia Station and Mirny Station, are well positioned to see the perfect ring. The total number of human witnesses to the complete annular eclipse might be measured in the dozens. Let that sink in. In an age where billions of people can watch the same YouTube video, where we're more connected than ever, one of nature's most spectacular shows will be seen by maybe 30, 40, perhaps 50 people at most. These aren't tourists. These are scientists, researchers, and support staff who are stationed in Antarctica for completely unrelated reasons. They're studying climate, ice cores, astronomy, and they're about to get the cosmic bonus of a lifetime. Imagine being a geologist drilling ice cores, and suddenly you get to witness something that most professional astronomers would give anything to see. Meanwhile, 8 billion people on the rest of the planet will miss it. No live stream can capture what it's like to stand under that ring of fire, to feel the temperature drop, to watch the shadows change. This eclipse is nature's reminder that some experiences are still exclusive, still rare, still reserved for those willing, or lucky enough, to be in exactly the right place at exactly the right time.
Number 9.
But don't despair if you're not in Antarctica. Outside the narrow annular path, a partial solar eclipse will be visible from several regions around the southern hemisphere. Shortly after sunrise, observers in southern Chile and Argentina will see the moon take a bite out of the sun. Parts of South Africa will catch it too, along with nearby subantarctic regions. It won't be the full ring of fire. Instead, you'll see the moon covering anywhere from a small crescent to a significant portion of the sun, depending on exactly where you are. Now, a partial eclipse doesn't have quite the same wow factor as seeing that perfect ring, but it's still worth checking out if you're in the viewing area. Just remember the golden rule. Never look directly at the sun during any phase of a solar eclipse without proper eclipse glasses or a solar filter. Even when 99% of the sun is covered, that remaining 1% is still bright enough to damage your eyes permanently. If you're in South America or South Africa, set your alarm, grab your eclipse glasses, and step outside shortly after sunrise on February 17th. You might not see the full ring, but you'll still be witnessing one of the coolest astronomical events of the year.
Number 10.
And here's the cherry on top. This annular eclipse in Antarctica is just the opening act. Later in 2026, a total solar eclipse will pass over Greenland, Iceland, and northern Spain, making 2026 one of the most active and exciting years for eclipse observers in recent memory. That August 12th total eclipse is going to be huge. Unlike our Antarctic ring of fire that almost nobody will see, the August eclipse passes over populated areas. We're talking about major cities, tourist destinations, places where millions of people can actually witness totality. Iceland is already preparing for an influx of eclipse chasers, and northern Spain is gearing up for what could be one of the most watched eclipses in European history. So if you missed the February 17th eclipse, and let's be honest, most of us will, you've got another shot at celestial glory just 6 months later. The universe is giving us 2 incredible eclipses in 1 year, and that's pretty generous. For eclipse chasers, 2026 is going to be the year to remember. 2 major eclipses, 2 completely different experiences, 2 chances to witness the cosmic clockwork that governs our solar system. Whether you're watching from the ice of Antarctica or the shores of Iceland, this is your reminder that we live in an amazing universe that puts on incredible shows, if we're willing to look up. So there you have it, the February 17th, 2026 annular solar eclipse. A ring of fire over Antarctica, visible to almost nobody, lasting just over 2 minutes, and kicking off an incredible year of cosmic events. If this video got you excited about astronomy and space, smash that like button and subscribe for more space facts and cosmic content. Drop a comment and let me know. Would you travel to Antarctica to see an eclipse? Or are you waiting for that August total eclipse in more comfortable locations? And hey, if you're actually going to be in Antarctica on Tuesday, if you're one of those lucky few dozen, leave a comment. I want to hear about it. Thanks for watching, space fans. Keep looking up, and I'll see you in the next video.